Afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great time. And let me start with a very quick question. How many of you today have used ChatGPT, Gemini, or Perplexity, or any of the AI softwares? Please just raise of hands. So I can see half, and I think the next half of them, they don't want to raise their hands, but that's okay. But I think most of us.
No, the rest are using Copilot.
Copilot, that's right. So let me tell you the good news. So AI is helping us in lots of ways, whether it is productivity, doing our tasks, getting creative, in so many ways. But we also have to know that this AI, the answers that you're getting, is not just something happening in the clouds. It's not something magical. These data centers are crunching these numbers, doing lots of efforts. They're leaving a carbon footprint. So it's not a free lunch. And while AI is probably helping our planet in so many ways, making data centers smarter, optimizing supply chains, tracking emission, it also comes with its own carbon cost. And that's exactly what we are going to be exploring in this panel discussion. So Amr, let me start with you, with the big tech giants. Microsoft is, of course, the main player in the region as well, and globally. So tech giants, they are leading the AI revolution. We all know that. But some of them, they do face criticism that they are energy hungry, right? And how do you ensure today that AI growth supports and does not undermine the climate goals?
Perfect. Thanks, Hussein. First of all, great to be here. Great to see everyone. Great to see how many people are already using and experiencing AI. And Hussein, I think, great and very important question that we should all be reflecting on as an industry and as the big tech players. In my mind, big tech players, Microsoft included, we need to lead by example. And we need to lead by example in this sense is I believe that we can scale AI while hitting our goals as well of sustainability. It's not, this is an and proposition, not an or proposition. Obviously, we need to break this down, but it's so important that we align on this headline in our thinking and our approach and our programs that we roll out. As Microsoft, we invest $80 billion on AI-enabled data centers. And of course, while we need to roll out infrastructure, it's how we think of this that becomes super important. How we think of this AI infrastructure being grounded in sustainable operations. And what I mean by that is how we think of water cooling, how we think of carbon. I want to talk about construction, not only on the server side of things or inside the data center. How our commitment are clear by 2030, whether when it comes to the carbon negative on the emissions, on the water positive that we set out there, and we are progressing towards these goals. The other thing I want to highlight as well is that at this point in time, we are reaching a 90.9% goal of reusing, so even our own servers in the data center, to ensure that we are relying, one, on renewable energy, but more on how we're recycling within our data center footprint as well. And that's a number that is so important for us to ensure, again, we're doing a responsible AI that can help us meet our climate and sustainability goals. And I cannot end this without talking about our work here in UAE and how we think about the Green AI Institute in UAE, how we work with them to make sure that we are building sustainable AI within UAE that's setting an example for the rest of the world of how we can build that. So to end, so important that we are thinking of AI as we think of the AI revolution. We match this in Microsoft with sustainability revolution. It's not, as I said at the beginning, it's not an or, it's an and And we need to lead by example in everything we do to ensure that as we're scaling AI, we're doing it responsibly and sustainably.
Fantastic. Thank you, Amr. Let me move from this portion that you just mentioned, sustainability, to Dr. Carlos. So we know that AI today, it helps balance renewables like solar, wind, but it also does consume significant energy itself. And this is the question where it becomes, do the sustainability benefits outweigh the environmental costs of using AI?
Well, so the AI is consuming a lot of energy, but this is something that, how can we change habits from the people? What we can do, because I cannot answer that one, because even looking for certain things consumes a lot, but contributes to anything. So, but this is another question. Since this is there, what we can do and what we can offer is to promote renewable energy, to feed in those data centers. And this is my field right now. So I'm in the charge of PV inverters within Huawei, also about the storage, about the grid connection. And that's another point of view from the question. So if we can talk about artificial intelligence inside the PV inverters or the storage systems in order to connect to the grid, to feed those data centers, for example, for AI, that came, in my opinion, this is another angle. It's like, from my point of view, we cannot apply AI, and this is something that I want to discuss here, that we cannot apply AI in certain topic about renewable energy. And then this is something that I would like to address to Deva, for example, because in the generation of electricity about the units, we need deterministic behavior, because the system operators needs to know the answer of the generation units when facing some changes in the voltage. So this challenge, because finally AI is getting in charge of everything, will be inside the PV inverter, inside the storage. This is what I'm not sure right now. Okay, and I would like to have an answer from giants about this thing, about if it's possible to put AI inside the inverter. Of course, Huawei is thinking about that, but right now I don't see it very feasible. But of course, the AI is inside the inverters from another perspective. But for the grid connection, I think we need to offer the system operator something deterministic and something controlled. Let's say this human in the loop, no? Like something programmed when something came, something certain will go out. So this kind of certainty, this is the thing we need to offer to the system operator from the manufacturer of the units.
Okay, so let me ask then Mohammad Bin Sulaiman. Then today, you have solar-powered data centers already, and it is reducing also the CO2 emissions. So what additional role can AI play today in optimizing operations to further cut the footprint? And if you want to also discuss with Dr. Carlos, like how are you using AI in your data centers?
So today, there are systems used in the data center like DCIM as an example. If you have a DCIM that is AI-enabled, it can help to reduce the power consumption. Yep. Yes, true, the data center is energized by solar, but if you can spare the capacity for some other use cases or other usage within the city, why not? There are today things that happening today in our data center as an example. I like what Amr mentioned. The material that we're using to build our data center are recycled materials. E-waste is something that we are looking at, how we can recycle the servers, the infrastructure that we have, and in GITEX 2 weeks later we'll be announcing something big, signing an agreement with one of the leaders in the e-waste domain. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we can also explore, maybe not in this part of the world, but maybe in the western part of the world is how we can leverage the waste heat that is generated from data centers. Here in UAE, we have district cooling. We can come up with the idea of district heating as an example. The heat that is generated from the data center can be used for other purposes, connected to the nearby buildings, to the data centers. So there are many use cases, in fact, that we are looking at, not only us alone, our partners as well, how we can leverage whatever we can do in the data center to reduce not only the CO2, because the data center is green, how to reduce the consumption of the data center in terms of power.
Very interesting use cases. Thank you, Mohammed. Let's move to the oil and gas. I mean, you are always the first guys to be attacked by the climate activists.
Exactly.
Although you're doing so much to try to make the globe cleaner. So when it comes to oil and gas, why does sustainability today in this sector matter? And where can AI make big differences there?
Exactly. Thank you, Hussein. So Enoch is an energy company, and which makes sustainability our top priority because of all the challenges around the world, as you said, right? And Enoch vision is to be an innovative energy partner, delivering sustainable value and industry-leading practices to all stakeholders. So with that in mind, we have done a lot in this area of sustainability. When it comes about AI, we've noticed that data is the core of any technology, digitalization, and AI. So for us, we're a strong believer that data is the new oil. And leveraging on this data, using the technologies available, will definitely enhance our performance in contributing to the sustainability. Today, I'm relying on the service providers. I'm a customer. They are my service provider, and I'm their customer, and they're doing great. Actually, we're talking about technologies from cloud computing to energy saving. Using the green data center, we are one of the first to move there, which has given us a lot of credit. And for us, moving to a cloud saved us a lot of space, a lot of energy, leveraging an economy of scale.
Thank you, Mohammed. Amr, let me move back to you, and let's take a broader look into transforming today economies and industries. So, of course, as you most know now, AI is often called now the new electricity. How do you see it transforming industries or cities beyond just tech and data centers?
Sure. Look, the way we think of AI is more of a force multiplier. Force multiplier for economy, for other industries, to your point, and we'll talk about examples like this. But it has to be a force multiplier getting into the fabric of these industries to help optimize, improve, and create more value for everyone involved. By the way, we're not talking about this in abstract anymore. We actually, if you start, I think we just heard around oil and gas and the utilization. I really love the example from Mohammed around the state-of-the-art data center and the usage inside, even in this business. But let's take other examples. By the way, here in Diwa, amazing example with the solar power data centers of Moro. The AI agent Rammas, I don't know, who's using Rammas, by the way? Anybody has experience with, so the AI agent in Diwa, amazing, again, usage and use case that show the power of how the technology is now helping transform industry and transform industry with sustainability in mind. Let's take banking. When I think of Emirates MBD and how they're using technology, in this case, Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability and the Sustainability Manager to help meet their or report on ESG reports, taking it from what used to take 3 months to 1 week and achieving above their own goals. That's one element as we touched on FSI or the financial services. Energy sector, same thing. So back to my point, Hussein, is I think we're truly seeing that we're moving from the theory and the abstract to AI being this force multiplier across many industries. And more so, as you can see, all the examples I just mentioned are examples here in UAE, in hometown, to show that not only we're talking here, we can shape this future together with all the amazing examples and excellence that we have locally.
Fantastic. Dr. Carlos, so as you know, the Middle East, it does host many mega solar power plants, especially here in Dubai, and we have the biggest example, which is DEWA solar panels. So how can AI today be like a major player in reducing operational and maintenance cost, and also make these plants run more smoothly and consistently? Do you have any examples you can share with us?
Yes, that's a very good point. I started saying that for the grid connection, we need something deterministic,
Yes.
but for O&M, we have some feature, as an example, based on something we call the string inverter, right? The benefit of the string inverters, we can digitalize much more what is happening in the PV plant. So we can run some tests automatically without any manual intervention to get certain values. No? And with that certain values combined with AI, we can detect if some PV panels are damaged, but not only that, also with AI based on different patterns from previous experience, we can determine if there is, for example, broken glass or any shadow or any malfunction, whether we can distinguish more than 10 different kind of problem. And together with some drones, we can go to a specific part of the PV plant and detect which panel has some issue.
Yeah.
And this is a huge benefit when we are talking here about gigawatt scale PV plant, that doing that manually will take months, right? And with this, we can scan the complete PV plant in 20 minutes, 10 minutes. So it's a huge benefit. With that, we can go to the place, change the PV panel, and it will work normally again. And this is a huge benefit. And there is another one more based on more address on CNI, for example, or residential, is about when there is some failure in the PV panels, there's a DC arc. And this is important because finally it's about safety. If you check about, for example, fires in PV installations, you will find something. And this is quite a danger. So with the AI also, we can detect if the current is just normal or has some issue, and because the DC current, this is maybe a little bit technical, but the DC current is not so easy to open. If there is a fault and it's still there and you don't open that circuit, it will get hot and could lead to fires and catastrophic problems. So in order to minimize that, we can check the current, we can analyze with AI different patterns as well, and we can detect if there is any bad connection, and then the system will automatically open. So could sounds like technical or something, but applied to industries, applied to residences, this is huge difference. Because with this AI, it will save some big problems. So I think it's very good for the industry.
And also a lot of cost, especially when it comes to maintenance and operation. Thank you, Dr. Carlos. Mohammed, let's move from data centers to cities. So it's not just data centers consuming a lot of energy, it's also the digitization of cities is also leading to more consumption of energy. Then a question comes, can AI in any way help, especially Gulf cities, UAE, become smarter and more sustainable at the same time?
Yes, sure. So technology today is available. AI with the combination of IoT and big data, it's already implemented here. There are many use cases with RTA, with DIWA, with civil defense. Maybe I'll give you an example that I have worked on it personally, which is water leak detection. Today, DIWA has been using the AI to detect if there is any water leak in the houses or the buildings, informing him about possible water leakage, so that the customer takes the necessary action to fix the leakage. This definitely help in saving the water and saving the environment. There are, of course, it's all backed up by AI. AI use energy, yes, definitely, but at the same time, it's helping to save water. There are cases for smart buildings, as an example, intelligent BMS. Now we are all not talking anymore about BMS, a standard BMS, traditional BMS. We're talking about intelligent BMS, where the BMS has the AI capability to tell the facility management who run the building that you can reduce maybe the AC in certain locations, you can switch off the lights in certain areas, you can use different analytics that the system provide to save energy for the building that is using an IBMS.
Very interesting one. Mohammed Al Rais, back to you now. And you've been working on so many projects with Enoch, and one of them is, it was on energy and supply chain optimization.
Exactly.
And this is a very interesting one to me on how AI can streamline oil and gas operations to lower both cost and, most importantly, emissions.
Yes, of course. So Enoch is a very diverse in business, and this is a great example as a supply chain. So we do supply, we do trade, we do processing, refining, and we do storage, and we do a lot of up till retail and convenience stores. And on that, in every segment or business line of business we have a lot of use cases. But now on the supply chain itself, since we do a lot of supply, and our logistics is basically we move product from A to B. And moving this product, it can harm the environment, and then there's a lot of possibilities of you can have, spills that can happen from your trucks. So it's using AI, we have used many use cases, like one, to do predictive demand analysis. So we know when to buy, how to buy, and when to sell, and how much we can store. Storing a lot, overstoring or overbuying can cost us a lot from, investment and from environmental, aspects. On the other hand, since we do a lot of also distributions, we have a lot of trucks, we do by air, we do by ship, by land. We use a smart AI like route optimization. And this is basically saving a lot of energy, because having the trucks stuck in a traffic, or we can divert that truck to a customer, reprioritize these deliveries, and ensure that the products that we deliver reaches to the customer with the exact quality and quantity. Because sometimes if you, these kind of misscheduling can create these, overheads on you. So these kind of advanced technologies that we're using. Also, we're using AI for live monitoring. Mohammed talked about the IoTs. We're leveraging on IoTs. We're leveraging on satellite images and sensors, where we have to test our products while loading, on the move, and while deploying. And we have to give you the exact quality that you have requested for. So these kind of technologies are being used, are monitoring. We're monitoring our trucks, we're monitoring the safety of our employees, the drivers. They keep working. So all of this contributes towards the sustainability and reducing that emission.
So we're reducing emissions and improving the bottom line as well for the company. That's what we need.
Yes.
Amazing. Amr, so Microsoft is also working with utilities on AI transformation. So can you tell me how can AI today reshape national grids and probably speed up this kind of renewable integration?
Sure. And maybe building, especially on the last point, because I really love where you're ending is back to my very first answer. It's an end. It's doable. You're benefiting, and I think Enoch is giving us here the example of how to benefit from the transformation and the capability that AI brings you, and in the same time, be better, do better on your own climate goals, right? This takes me to the utilities part. And maybe as we think of this, it's so important as well. I know we talked a lot about the infrastructure part of AI. We talked about transforming industries, but there is a very important factor in this equation, which is people. And be it utilities, and we'll talk about the grid, or be it every industry we're in, at the end of the day, it's people that will determine, can this technology become beneficial and impactful and transformative for the society, for the economy, and for any specific organization. And that's why I wanted to make sure that I highlight this piece is super important. And again, the vision that we have here in UAE and the ability to execute on this vision, we're partnering at a national level to train 1 million people by 2027 on AI and the capability. And more importantly there, and this is kudos to the national leadership and the vision, is including sustainability in the curriculum. Because it's so important as well as we think of this implementation that we're thinking of it in context of a sustainable AI. Not only that, we're also having a partnership with the government for 100,000 government employees being trained over a number of years for or around AI capabilities. And this is, in my mind, is the key factor in transforming any industry, including going back to grid, including that, can we make the grid more smarter using AI? Can we ensure that we're able to utilize, we don't have capacity that's sitting idle? I think Mohammed touched on this. Part of the power here, can I use the capacity and optimize so that I'm generating the energy or the capability that I need, and I'm fully utilizing all of that, and I'm able to almost load balance where I need to, right? These are the real elements. There are demands for the grid, given the climate as well, that we can, using the power of AI, use very transformative solutions and being applied right now to truly have a smart grid that meet the climate goals as well.
And I really like this point that training 1 million person, especially when we're talking about AI, today we're talking about so many people are afraid that they're going to lose their jobs, and this is probably where you come in, you step in to say, no, we need to make AI support people and not the other way around. So very interesting.
If I leave you with anything, AI is a force multiplier.
Wow.
Force multiplier not only on industry, but for individuals. And that's how obviously we need as an industry to think of it this way, embrace it, enable the skills, the training, but that's how we need to embrace it as well as individuals.
Amazing. Carlos, Mohammed, and then Mohammed, I'll let you close with this question. If today AI is to be really allied to sustainability, okay? What's the one thing that we must get right in the next 5 years to make sure that it accelerates climate action instead of adding hitting cost. So, Carlos, I'll start with you.
From my perspective,
And just imagine we're sitting again 5 years on this panel again after 5 years
Yeah, yeah.
having this discussion.
I think AI will be there, but we need to digitalize the components to get all the information needed, and then think about how can we make it more efficient. And from the safety perspective, for example, digitalize many things could be very good for preventing maintenance, whatever. And from the grid perspective, the AI could help to improve the efficiency of all the grid. And of course, including the storage will be essential for getting the renewable power into the system.
But you don't think it is going to be used in power generating units, right?
In the very low level, no, because it's a bigger discussion, I think, because we need to provide something very deterministic to the system operator, but the system operator can take it for the AI to improve the efficiency, to determine the power flows inside the grid, etc. But in a very low level, the answer should be deterministic, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
So that's why in many aspects we can implement AI. In that particular one, no, I think. But in how to manage the power system, I strongly believe the AI will be...
We'll see in 5 years. Thank you, Doctor.
Yes.
Mohammed.
Well, my opinion, whether we like it or not, AI is there, and AI is going to consume power, definitely. What I believe we should do as humans is to identify use cases, work on use cases which will have a positive impact on us and on environment. Today there are so many use cases where we can use AI, but not necessarily having a positive return on us and on our environment. Just maybe to conclude with a funny, news, or in fact, some of the LLM companies have announced, you don't need to thank chatbot, right? Because every time you thank the chatbot, you are burning electricity. So maybe you focus on what is going to bring a positive return for you, for your operation, for your business. AI today can be used, as we said, to save water, to save CO2 emissions, to reduce it, in fact. Let's focus in building use cases for AI that will have a positive impact on us as humans and on our environment as well.
Thank you. And on your point, just saying thank you to ChatGPT is costing around $10 million in electricity. So, yeah, very valid point. Mohammed.
Yeah, I agree with so AI, I think in the next decade, it will, from optional, it will be a necessity. And from, as a complementary today, it will become an autonomous. Today, I see it, the AI will be embedded within every system that we have. It will not be as a complementary. There will be an autonomous energy solutions, where the solution comes embedded with AI. And this is the future. Today, the word of autonomy is becoming the hype, and this is where we see the future. Now, again, in UAE, the leadership have raised the bar, and we have this net zero 2050 vision, and the investment that they also did on the AI is tremendous, it's massive. So both of us is a clear message that this nation is set to be the leader in, globally when it comes to AI and sustainability together.
So I think what I've heard today is, AI is the future, of course, but how we use it is going to be very important. How we design, we deploy, we demand AI to be sustainable. So I think our responsibility is to make sure that AI is not just artificial, but also responsible. And this is what I took from this panel discussion. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I really enjoyed this conversation, lots to learn, and thank you for joining us on this conversation. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a
Hussein.
pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.